Can we all just have a moment of silence? So, Nikon screws the pooch. Who called it? All that and more right here on The Morning Jolt. Welcome back to another episode of The Morning Jolt. I'm your host, Mark Puckett. I told you so. Nikon, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, you had a chance, and you blew it so hard. I'm not even going to say that I'm not. Is anyone else's mind just blown right now? Nikon has had the hype train running for so damn long. I mean, you would have thought it was going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. And literally nothing about this launch tickled my fancy. I stayed up to about 11:30 thinking, you know what, I'm going to stay up and I'm actually going to watch the announcement. And I'm going to get all the juicy details. Maybe even make another video in the middle of the night like other crazy photographers do, just trying to be first. But then I thought, you know what? I've been a Nikon shooter before. I know exactly how it's going to go down. They're going to give you just enough without the climax. No climax. Not only was there no climax, I mean, there were some choices that were made that literally go beyond anything I could have imagined that Nikon would actually do at this point in the game. Mistakes were made. All right, so enough fooling around. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the specs. You can find those on any website. Really, what I want to talk about here is philosophy. And I am going to point out a few of the things that I thought were pretty important. Let's start with the EVF. Okay, I think they did a good job. 3.6.9 million, 69. See what you did there. 3.69 million dot EVF, I think is pretty good. I think in-body image stabilization with 5 stops of vibration reduction is pretty damn cool. So, you know, any of those unstabilized non-VR lenses, you'll be able to use those just fine. They did manage to put in a hybrid autofocusing system, but without actually trying it out, I'm going to say that it's less than stellar. I'm hoping that it's going to be great. But, I mean, the disappointment just keeps on coming. They did manage to put in a headphone jack, so for those of you that are hoping, like I am, that the video side of things is going to be pretty awesome, you're going to be able to monitor your audio and camera, so that's pretty cool. We do have a tilty screen, but no front-facing, fully articulating screen whatsoever, so if you were hoping to use this camera and all your cool Nikon lenses to do what I'm doing right now with a $700 camera, forget about it. Panasonic's going to be pretty happy, though. You know, I think they stole a couple of design cues from the Fujifilm X-H1 with the, you know, ink, the digital ink screen on top. It just, eh. All right, so let's talk about what's bad in this camera. I mean, holy shit. The pricing, while semi-competitive with other offerings that are currently on the market, when you actually get down to what's bad about the camera, it ends up not being a good thing. The pricing is not anywhere close to what these things should be charged for. First and foremost, absolutely the first and foremost thing, no dual card slots? What genius thought that was going to be a swell idea? It's priced like a high-end enthusiast / professional camera, both of them. The Z6 is more of an A7 Mark III style competitor, and the Z7 is more of an A7R style competitor. The pricing for this, with no dual card slot, it's not professional enough for the professionals, but the pricing precludes all of their lower-end consumers. The family man, the hobbyist, the guy that wants to record his kids. The pricing puts them out of this bracket. There are other options out there that are much cheaper, that do almost the exact same, I mean, to the letter as far as specifications are concerned, that have already been on the market for years. Why would they pick this? Pros won't pick it because they have no redundant card slot. The hobbyists and the lower-end consumers, they're not going to pick this because it's too expensive. There are other options that do almost exactly the same thing for way, way less. And then there's the battery. I mean, they're using the, literally, as far as I can tell, the exact same battery that came with the Nikon D850. And with this particular system, they're anticipating roughly 300 shots per battery. So, pro-level money, no dual card slots, a kind of meh battery. Like I said, all of this by itself is not much because all the old mirrorless systems have had to deal with this exact same kind of thing. You know, poor battery life, stuff's just not being exactly what it should. There were lots of growing pains with Sony, you know, and all their, but Nikon has had 5 years to get this thing right. Not just to meet the market, not just to be kind of sort of in the same range as all the other mirrorless camera companies, but to exceed, to innovate, to dominate. And they did none of that. They literally did none of that. So you just got another mirrorless camera in a sea of mirrorless cameras right now. I think that is horrendous on Nikon's part. And this is the exact reason. This right here is the exact reason why I left Nikon. They don't do anything extraordinary, mind-blowing, and that's sad. I feel bad for Nikon shooters half the time. Because while their cameras are great, while they're well built for the most part, while they have, you know, relatively low trouble-free, I'm not going to talk about dust and sensors and recalls or anything. So while they enjoy relatively problem-free usage of their cameras, they're never excited. They're never like, oh, damn. And I feel bad for them because everyone should be excited about using their gear. But even the Z6 only has 12 frames per second. My literally 5-year-old A6000 did 11 frames per second. So Nikon was going to throw this up and be like, dude, be impressed. And this is what they always do. So, you know what? They had a real shot. They had a real opportunity. They had a real chance, you know, and they just didn't deliver, as I was predicting. Okay, so the last couple things I am going to say are pretty good about the camera. 10-bit, you are going to get 120 frames per second in 1080p. They are going to have a new in-log, so you will get a you're going to get a flat picture profile. You're going to get focus peaking and timecode sync support. All of these things are good. At least they put this stuff in there. So this, at least to me, shows that they want to do some level of video. I just don't know how well they're going to do it based on everything that we've seen in previous cameras. I mean, the D850's video live view stuff, I mean, it was a joke. Literally a joke. You might as well not even turn it on. I've got a tickle in my throat. I think it's from all the Nikon bashing. Coffee makes everything better. But as far as it goes with that adapter, I was wrong. I predicted that it was going to be just like the Canon mount and be around $200. But nope, not for Nikon. That's too inexpensive. Nope, the Nikon mount is going to be $250. So there you go, boys and girls. You got a new mirrorless camera option. I'm glad. I mean, at least it's competition, I suppose, but not a compelling option as far as I'm concerned. There's too many other cameras that already have fantastic whatever that this doesn't stand out at all. There's no standout features, and that is Nikon's problem. They play it safe. They don't do anything revolutionary. They don't go above and beyond. They do just enough to stay in business, and that's what pisses me off about them. So, you know what? Let them price themselves out of the market. Let them, I mean, look, you'll be able to pick one of these two cameras up this time next year. Just wait till about June, July, right before, you know, Christmas in July. You can pick one of these up for probably $1,500. Don't spend whatever they're asking. I mean, if you really are just that hardcore on, you know, Nikon mirrorless, go ahead and pick one up next year when the prices tank because nobody else is being compelled to move over. So, you know, regular, shitty, mirrorless camera battery life. The EVF is pretty good. Headphone jack is awesome. Microphone in jack is awesome. We've got a hybrid autofocus system. God only knows how well it's going to work. Let's hope that it works fantastic. But I even warned you all yesterday that, you know, they just focused on photographers in that photographer's impressions video. They didn't discuss anything about video. And I think that there's probably a good reason for that. They just, I don't know. I could be wrong. I hope I am. But I mean, it's the same old with Nikon. So with all that being said, I'm out of here. You know, nothing exciting here. I'm going to go crochet or something. That's exciting. Relatively. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yeah, I was hoping for more for us, guys. I really was. I mean, I was pulling for them. But Nikon's reputation precedes itself. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for stopping here and hanging out with me today. I'm going to catch you all tomorrow on the next edition of The Morning Jokers. Peace.